Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to look at the top 5 best gaming monitors you must check before buying. This list is based on research and parameters like features, performance, design, price, customer reviews, and of course our personal opinion. So, whether you're looking for a 4K gaming monitor for the sharpest picture or a 240Hz gaming monitor for the smoothest experience, in this video you will find the monitor that fits your exact style of gaming and loaded with all the latest technology you could want. For more information and updated prices, check the links in the description box below. Number 5. The MSI Oculux NXG 253R. Best super fast 360Hz gaming monitor. Refresh rate, resolution, black levels, panel size, pick 2. That's been the buyer's dilemma for several years now, since we collectively realized that, yes, playing at a higher refresh rate does actually make you better at Counter-Strike. MSI's latest panel, bearing the catchy moniker Oculux NXG 253R, aims to at least address the most common trade-off in modern gaming panels: refresh rate for color quality. Whereas the majority of high refresh rate panels are VA or TN screens with limited viewing angle and shallow colors, MSI's latest is built around an IPS panel, with all the inky blacks and rich colors that technology brings with it. Traditionally, IPS has been slower to the party since it's more costly to manufacture high refresh rate panels, but evidently enough of us are sold on 120Hz and beyond, way beyond in fact. This is the first 360Hz monitor I've seen. 60Hz to 120Hz is transformative, but 120Hz to 360Hz? Surely one's gaming performance doesn't increase exponentially. And don't eyes only see 60 FPS anyway? It turns out that while the performance gain might not exist on a linear curve, 360Hz does look and feel smoother than 120Hz. But something to bear in mind, you still need the GPU to get your frame rate up there in the hundreds in order to feel the benefit of the 360Hz refresh. This being an IPS panel with typically darker blacks, it definitely looks more vivid in game than even a good TN screen, and the colors hold up at any viewing angle. You got a few preset brightness and color balance modes to cycle between, arranged by genre. Out of the box, the default color and brightness settings are easy on the eye and really sell the IPS benefit. G-Sync itself is present here too, and although that won't be a big deal to competitive players due to the minuscule latency increase it adds to the signal chain, for the rest of us dropping this much on a 1080p monitor, it sweetens the deal. Whether or not it actually feels smoother than 300 plus FPS of non-V-Sync gameplay is really in the eye of the beholder. But it has always been and remains a useful tool in one's armory of those slower games. The Fallout 4s and Cyberpunks who need all the help they can get to smooth it all out. The Oculux NXG 253R's mandate is sound, but there are still compromises made in this pricey 1080p monitor in order to optimize esports performance. The most obvious are the screen size and resolution, 24.5-inch and 1080p respectively. You could certainly argue that nobody's getting 360 FPS at 4K in, well, anything outside of CS, GO, or MOBAs. Quite rightly so. But spending this much on a monitor that won't even give you 1440p feels like a serious trade-off, and that resolution dictates a smaller panel size. Nobody wants to see the individual pixels at 1080p on a 32-inch screen. There's a real performance benefit here, and a sheer enjoyment multiplier. You just have to make peace with the idea of buying into a piece of specialist equipment, not an all-rounder. Number 4. DELL S2722 DGM. Best design and display. Next up is the DELL S2722 DGM. Much like the mystical ways of the Force, PC gaming is all about balance. There's little point weighting your system too heavily in one direction without paying attention to the whole package. Why bother pairing your RTX 3080 Ti with a 60Hz 1080p screen? Likewise, why spend big on a 4K monitor when you're only sporting a Radeon RX 6600? The classic 27-inch DELL S2722 DGM marries that screen real estate with a 2560 by 1440 native resolution, which gives you a great pixel pitch for fine detail. At 1440p, it's also a decent resolution for getting high frame rate without the GPU demands of a 4K display. It's also capable of delivering that resolution at 165Hz, which is appreciated. At 2ms GTG response, it's just a hair behind the 1ms and 0.5ms ratings of the best IPS panels, so you're covered when it comes to speed. That said, you can find quicker panels if you really want to chase speed. This VA panel does have a high contrast ratio, at least given the technology's inherent strong contrast. As for picture quality, the DELL S2722 DGM is a reasonable, punchy, and vibrant monitor considering its pure SDR panel. The strong inherent contrast certainly helps with that, ensuring you don't feel shortchanged running games like Cyberpunk 2077, which supports HDR in SDR mode. You can steer clear of MPRT mode, which hammers the panel's brightness and vibrancy. Extreme mode, which is rated at 2ms, does suffer from a whiff of overshoot, but that's only just visible in game, while super fast resolves the overshoot but allows just a little smearing of darkness tones. USB Type-C connectivity doesn't feature, but the dual HDMI and a single DisplayPort connections are just fine, even if the HDMI ports top out at 144Hz rather than 165Hz. This DELL monitor is, most importantly, available at a great price. DELL delivers high-quality gaming panels with all the features you need and a few extraneous ones to bump up the price. And that makes it one of the best gaming monitors for most PC gamers today. Number 3. Gigabyte G37Q Best FreeSync Gaming Monitor. The G27Q proves that you don't need to spend fortune for a decent IPS 1440p display. At around $330, Gigabyte's 27-incher packs in plenty of sought-after features, but more importantly, it provides rich color and smooth gameplay. As a flat 27-inch display with a design that wouldn't stand out in an office environment, it looks pretty pedestrian. But it's actually one of the best gaming monitors you'll see on the market right now. Not only does it have a gorgeous, vibrant IPS panel with 8-bit color with 92% DCI-P3 coverage, it's also HDR capable. As someone who loves visual fidelity, I appreciate this resolution for clarity and performance. If you spend all your time playing CSGO or Valorant, then the 144Hz refresh could hold you back a bit. But the 1ms response time sure helps. The Gigabyte G27Q handles gaming with aplomb, thanks to adaptive sync via AMD FreeSync Premium. It's also G-Sync compatible, so whether you're a team green or red, the G27Q plays nice. It's a bit of plain Jane compared to other more pricey options, but it packs plenty of useful features designed to enhance your gaming pleasure. It gets eye-searingly bright thanks to its VESA Display HDR 400 certification. Connection-wise, you're looking at two HDMI 2.0 ports and a DisplayPort 1.2, along with a pair of USB 3.0 Type A downstream ports and one USB 3.0 Type B. Oh, and it also comes with a pair of 2-watt speakers integrated into the monitor. The OSD on the G27Q opens you up to a ton of profiles and monitor settings. You navigate with a little joystick on the back, and you'll love that you don't need to press the joystick to activate menu options. There's also the OSD Sidekick, a handy Windows app that gives you the same menu access, but you navigate with your mouse instead of the joystick, which is neat. Whether you use it for work or play, the G27Q excels with a sharp, vibrant, and smooth picture. Number 2. LG 27GN950B Most responsive 4K gaming monitor. Next up is the LG 27GN950B. 4K gaming is a premium endeavor. You need a colossal amount of rendering power to hit decent frame rates at such a high resolution. But if you're rocking a top-shelf graphics card, like an RTX 3080 or RX 6800 XT, then this dream can be a reality. The LG Ultra Gear is the first 4K Nano IPS gaming monitor with 1ms response times. That'll properly show off your superpowered GPU. Coming in with NVIDIA G-Sync and AMD's FreeSync adaptive refresh compatibility, this slick, slim bezel design even offers LG's Sphere Lighting 2.0 RGB visual theatrics. And combined with the crazy sharp detail that comes with the 4K pixel grid, that buttery smooth 144Hz is pretty special. While it does suffer from a little characteristics IPS glow, it appears mostly at the screen extremities when you're spying darker game scenes. This might not be an issue, but the HDR is a little disappointing as, frankly, 16-edge lit local dimming zones does not make true HDR panel. What is most impressive, however, is the Nano IPS tech that offers a wider color gamut and stellar viewing angles. And the color fidelity of the Nano IPS panel is outstanding. LG's default calibration is virtually faultless, and impeccable detail in both black and white scales. Beyond the strict metrics, it's seriously vibrant and punchy display in terms of image quality on the Windows desktop. The screen pops. Hop in game and it's just as impressive. You'll never tire of the buttery smooth goodness that is 144Hz. But combined with the crazy sharp detail that comes with the 4K pixel grid, well, it's pretty special. The LG Ultra Gear 27GN950B bags you a terrific panel with exquisite IPS image quality. Despite the lesser HDR capabilities, it also nets beautiful colors and contrast for your games too. G-Sync offers stable pictures and smoothness, and the speedy refresh rate and response times back this up too. And while the lack of HDMI 2.1 and USB Type-C are a little limiting, especially looking forward, right now it's one of the best monitors going. Before meeting our top pick, let us know your thoughts. Do you agree with this list? If not, tell us which gaming monitor is missing down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and don't forget to subscribe or press the bell icon. Number 1. Alienware 34QD OLED AW3423DW. Best overall. Finally, OLED has truly arrived on PC, and it's ultra-wide format no less. Alienware's 34QD OLED is one of the very few gaming monitors to receive such a stellar score. And it's no surprise, Dell has nailed the OLED panel in the screen and is absolutely gorgeous for PC gaming. Although this monitor isn't perfect, it is dramatically better than any LCD-based monitor by several gaming-critical metrics. And it's a genuine thrill to use. What that 34-inch 21:9 panel can deliver in either of its HDR modes, HDR 400 True Black or HDR Peak 1000, is nothing short of exceptional. The 3440 by 1440 native resolution image it produces across that gentle 1800R curve is punchy and vibrant. With 99.3% coverage of the demanding DCI-P3 color space and fully 1000 nits brightness, it makes a good go, though that brightness level can only be achieved on a small portion of the panel. Still, there's so much depth, saturation, and clarity to the in-game image thanks to that per-pixel lighting. But this OLED screen needs to be in HDR mode to do its thing, and that applies to SDR content too. HDR Peak 1000 mode enables that maximum 1000 nit performance in small areas of the panel, but actually looks less vibrant and punchy. HDR 400 True Black mode generally gives the best results after you jump into the Windows display setting menu and crank the SDR brightness up. It looks much more zingy. Burn-in is the great fear, and that leads to a few quirks. For starters, you'll occasionally notice the entire image shifting by a pixel or two. The panel can actually over-provision with pixels by about 20 in both axes, providing plenty of leeway. It's a little like the over-provisioning of memory cells in an SSD, and it allows Alienware to prevent static elements from burning into the display over time. The Alienware 34QD OLED's response time is absurdly quick at 0.1 ms. There's no HDMI 2.1 on this panel, however, so it's probably not the best fit for console gaming as a result, but if you're going to hook your PC up to a high-end gaming monitor, we recommend it be this one. For more information and updated prices, check the links in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our previous comparison between the Gigabyte M32U and LG 27GP950B.